Around 40 area citizens attended a rail safety roundtable discussion Wednesday that was convened by Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton. The meeting was the fifth in a series of meetings held across the state to review new state rail safety laws and to learn from local leaders how to improve disaster readiness protocols. Winona Fire Chief Kurt Biddle told the governor area emergency personnel need better access to equipment needed to respond to potential disasters, especially those that involve oil trains.
The state has chemical assessment teams, state CAT teams. I think with money that's being collected, it might behoove us to maybe expand the number of CAT teams in the state, and then also provide Class B hazard, Class B foam trailer, and have some capability as far as dispersing the necessary products to actually take care of these. I don't think it would fiscally be responsible for giving every department a cachet of Class B foam, but I think expanding the CAT team, the number of CAT teams that we do have in the state, and allowing them to actually have some necessary equipment and product would be beneficial for the state.
Other issues brought forth by Winona leaders were the condition of rail crossings and the need for another rail overpass on the city's east side to ensure emergency personnel can respond effectively.
One of the things that affects us on a daily basis, not only our officers, but the fire department and other EMS, are the water delays at a lot of the rail crossings in town. We're fortunate to have the one overpass, which was a huge improvement from years ago. And it was mentioned by the mayor earlier, it's on our west end of town. That's great if they have things on the west end of town. If something on the east end of town, get everybody there, we have to try to figure out where we can beat the train, or fall in right behind it, or drive all the way to the overpass. So that, is something that in the future will really help us.
Winona State University President Dr. Scott Olson said a pedestrian underpass will be constructed on campus in the spring. He stated he had just recently signed an agreement with the Canadian Pacific Railway to put that long-planned project into motion.
A week ago Friday, I signed the agreement with CP Rail to get those done. So some folks here don't know that, but it's actually agreed to now, and the work will probably begin in the spring. That's going to be huge for us.
Governor Dayton said safety improvements will be expensive. He said improvements must be prioritized and that those improvements should be paid for by the railroads.
But it is going to be expensive, so the issue really is what needs to be done, and that is, as you said, is community by community consideration, varies from one place to another, and then who's going to pay for it, and that's a discussion we'll have in the next legislative session. And my own view is that the rail lines should be responsible for at least half of these new problems and additional problems that they've created by the volume of activity.
The governor said there are plans to hold additional rail safety meetings before the start of the next legislative session.
We'll be having others in the weeks ahead because it affects different communities differently.